What do you attribute the change in the level of anxiety you feel today versus the maybe in your early 20s?
Combination of things. I think the biggest thing is I just don't have the energy for it anymore. I was gonna say that about you, like when you hit 27 or whatever age you said you started like figuring it out and calming down. It's probably a combination of knowing what it is and also
Aging
your
out.
body just going like, we don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Like we don't have the energy for this.
Yeah.
I think that's really true.
I
It took
agree.
so much out of me to panic the way that I was all the time.
It's exhausting.
It's so exhausting. And now I think my brain's just like, we'll
Think
be
about
fine.
how much time you gave to focus on that anxiety, that feeling of
Yeah,
panic,
impending doom.
when
Like,
you were young, that impending doom.
yeah.
Whether you have the energy or you've evolved to where you're like, I'm not spending my energy on that, and you're choosing to refocus and redirect the energy that you would give to that, because there is a lot of it that's controllable. But what a lot of people, I think, get into is that they can't control it and that it's hopeless and that it just comes. But you can you can moderate your anxiety. You can learn how to cope with it
Yeah.
and how to modify it and moderate it. And again, like I said, there's lots of things you can go out there and read. You can listen to now. I mean, obviously now we have so many different places to go and listen to books, talks, meditations. There's tons of apps. There's therapy apps people can go on and like talk to, actually in an app, talk to someone. So there's a lot of resources out there for people who would otherwise have said, I can't afford therapy
Right.
because I can't go sit with going and sitting with someone every week or FaceTiming with someone. It's a luxury, but there's a lot of resources now where people can go and like work on it, start to like drill in on it.
You don't have to spend the money on a therapist necessarily to
Right.
be able to fix yourself.
You can find the
And
growth.
also sometimes even that doesn't work.
Right.
I think because people ask me this a lot. I mean, I obviously I talk about anxiety and depression and stuff, and
I feel like your fans especially,
yeah,
one of the things that they connect with in your songwriting is that relationship you have with yourself and how openly you are sharing what you're going through. Is not something that everyone does. You obviously, like, you guys are one of those bands that have fans that relate to the emotional experience you're having as the storyteller. And that's part of the personality and the, like, what makes the music good is there is like a really brutal honesty to it. That's kind of, at times it can feel dark, but it feels super honest.
yeah,
It feels like that's how we all feel at the depths of who we are. Sometimes we feel that happy, that confident, but also like that wretched, that dark, that sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is kind of like the real, to me, like a real true, like, rounded human experience.
Yeah, I appreciate that because that's exactly what I want it to be.
It's
all of them.
You're one of the people that nail it.
Oh, thank you.
You nail it.
That
Like,
means a lot.
it just says to me honesty.
Yeah.
Because we all have those depths as well as those highs. We can all feel the highest level of joy. Even if someone's out there listening saying, no, I never feel joy. You certainly do at some point in some place have felt that highest level of joy because you're a human being.
Yeah.
Maybe something in your life happened, but to know that you have, and even if you've forgotten it, it says to me you can get back to there.
Yeah.
But there is like the other side of it that I relate to as well, of feeling that anger, that sadness, the darkness, wretchedness. I say that like it's a very specific word, but it does feel like that's how we look at ourselves sometimes when we're in those moments, and it feels like a hopeless, dark,
Oh, it's completely
worthless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I was going to say a couple things about that. Like, one is when I've been in that mindset, and if anybody asks me for advice, which I don't think I'm qualified to give advice, but I'll give it.
I think you are.
It feels like this is forever. Like when you're in whatever that state is that you're trying to get out of, it doesn't feel like it's ever going to go away.
You get stuck in it.
And then even you're right in saying you have all these resources, you have apps, you have these things to help you cope. When I heard somebody say that when I was in my state, I would think, that's great, what am I going to just cope forever? Am I just going to have to like put on these apps all the time and just like, is it going to make it like moderately better, but I'm still going to be miserable? What I found was when you do get better and you get past that point, it's like, it's easy.
You build momentum in it.
Yeah. And then like once you're in it, I mean, even now we're talking about anxiety and I write about it a lot, so it's easy for me to articulate, but I almost can't relate to that feeling now that I've been out of it for so long. It feels foreign to me. It feels like I'm describing somebody else's life because it's so much different now in a way that I never thought it would be. And I think that's like the most comforting thing. I wish that somebody would have told me that, like, not just, hey, you can like slowly get out of this and eventually you'll be able to cope and deal with it. Cause that doesn't sound positive to me. Like I need to get past it. I need to like feel like it doesn't exist. And that's how it can feel when you're out of it.